Welcome to another edition of Tom's Real Food Podcast. Well, it's that time of the year, everybody. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We're looking forward to next year. This week's podcast is sponsored by December 27th, How to Keep a Sharp Edge and Cut Your Own Meat. Let's go to the podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Tom Glover, the Keto Cook, and today on Tom's Real Food Podcast, I have a special guest, Santa Claus. Yep, he is my pal. He's my buddy. He's the only guy that can get away about being fat, okay? And nobody say anything, because nobody wants a skinny Santa Claus, right? So I remember as a kid, Santa Claus was the man. I mean, that was it. Boy, I couldn't wait. I'd write the letters to Santa. I even talked to Santa on the phone. Think about all these great memories that we had. And most of it, now I think about it, most of it all surrounded food, okay? It was always, you made Christmas cookies, Christmas dinner, Christmas Eve. In my adult life, Christmas Eve was more of the celebration, more than Christmas Day, because I always made a ton of food. I did the Feast of the Seven Fishes, and I always had a ton of people come to my house. It was always an open door policy type of thing, and it had all kinds of lobster, shrimp, clams, mussels, fish. I even did scoongill, and a whole bunch of food that we did. It was a great celebration because it was a great time. Everybody that celebrated, but it all surrounded the food. So whether you made ham or goose, turkey, even when I was younger, after midnight mass, everybody would come back to my house, and the family, if they all went to midnight mass or whatever, either would exchange gifts or take the gifts home for their children for the next day. But we basically used to open up our Christmas Eve. A few times we did Christmas Day when my parents got a little older. We waited to the next day. But the whole going back in time kind of thing is, the food was freaking unbelievable. And then go to people's houses and snack on what they had. Different nationalities would have different types of foods and stuff like that, and always tasting. So it was always plentiful. It was always more than enough. Sometimes way too much food, and you eat it for days, and pies and like I said, the Christmas cookies. Everybody exchanged cookies and stuff like that. It was a good time. It really was always a good time. I can remember in my older years, me and Marie, with her family and all the Italian traditions and stuff like that. That was more or less my way of doing things. Was because the food was stuff that I liked. Right? Let's put it that way. The seafood and all that, and seeing different. I can remember my mother-in-law and my wife. Okay, I would get out of the house. That was complete nutsville because they would start arguing. And they're both standing on either side, and there was a hot vat of oil that they were making their Italian pastries and stuff with, and cookies and stuff. Nobody could and they counted everything. Everything was counted. And if I come through the door or something like that and grab the one and put it away, whoo! That's why I'd leave. Especially if they were doing it on a Saturday or the weekend before Christmas, or if Christmas was on that weekend or whatever. I'd let them fight it out, and I'd go somewhere else. I'd wind up in a gin mill somewhere, having a few drinks, come home to lighten the load. But it was always good food, and you didn't hear recalls whatsoever. And I'm not going to touch on that today because today is more festive, and I want to thank a lot of people for tuning in and watching, and always sticking by me on my other channels also. So my other channel is the Sunday Dinner Chef, and then we have the Seniors Food and Life. Then I have a music channel that I don't do too much. I just basically on that one, I download some music and I'll play to it. on my drums and stuff like that. I just try to stay sharp the older I get. But the whole method here is chubby here. So can you imagine if they had a traditional Santa Claus? If they had a traditional, ripped with the six packs, the whole bit. I don't think that would go over too good, too well, especially with me as a kid, because that dude there, boy, you looked up to him like you couldn't wait. I can remember going way back that if it did not snow, boy, I was a nervous wreck. How in the hell is he going to get up on that roof and get down that chimney? We didn't have a fireplace. We had a furnace in the basement. my dad actually had to take me down to the basement one weekend because I was frazzled about that. He wasn't going to come, and he showed me, oil fired furnace, had the pipe going up and out to the chimney, but it had a flue pipe in there that would open, suck in the air and whatever. That's how Santa comes out. He gets out of that part there and he goes up the stairs, and don't you worry about that. Okay. We checked that one off with about the worryment. And if it didn't snow, don't worry about it, because them reindeer can actually fly even without snow, and he can land on the roof. The sled sometimes has the wheels that come down. I mean, they sugarcoated everything for me, so I wouldn't be a nervous wreck. And it was kind of funny because the things, looking back with the different foods, even as a kid, waiting for my mom to make certain dishes that were only done at Christmas. And then going back a couple podcasts ago, that we ate seasonal. Okay, summertime meant in New Jersey meant tomatoes, corn, and whatever else they would grow through. Watermelon. Oh, you couldn't wait till watermelon season would come in. Now it's 24/7, and I think that's the problem we're having nowadays. As far as my grandsons, when they were little, whatever they wanted, they had, because it was 24/7, 7 days a week. You can get anything you want, a watermelon. But to me, it doesn't taste the same. There again, I'm getting older, but just the memories that are coming back is phenomenal because of what we had and when we had it. All right, and we weren't a rich family. My dad and mom worked their butts off to make sure that we all had a good Christmas. Always had a nice home, well maintained home. My dad was a carpenter, cabinet maker, and he built the house from scratch, and always maintained the appearance of it and stuff like that. So, it was me growing up. It was a good job. You didn't with my dad. You didn't cross hairs with him too much because he didn't have time for that nonsense. Okay, and I would get my ass handed to me. Is that the right way of doing things? Who knows? I mean, you have to go with the times. So me and Marie were talking the other day about going to midnight mass and stuff like that. I'm Irish Catholic, and going to church in amazement as a kid to see the church packed with everybody all dressed up and knowing that it was Christmas Eve, and I was like, wow, look at all these people. And then when mass was over, everybody's nice, shaking hands. Hello, how you doing? Merry Christmas, and going through that, and then going home, and then the crowd of people that would come back to our house. And my mom very rarely went to midnight mass because she was cooking. And she would have lasagna, she would have a ham, turkey. We had Christmas. We had two turkeys because one was for Christmas Day, and the other one was for Christmas Eve. Okay, and smaller turkey, but nevertheless, tons and tons and tons of food. I used to like that time of year because that was back in the day when Charlie Chips, potato chips in a can. Charlie Chips would make his delivery. A couple cans of potato chips, a couple cans of pretzels and stuff like that, and it was only allowed certain times to be put out. And the good old days, and putting the Christmas tree up. Ow. My parents would wait to Christmas Eve. All right. Now, as I got older, I understood what was on their plate. All right, making sure that we all had what we wanted. We weren't spoiled with it, but what we needed. Believe me, I got my share of underwear, socks, and clothes for school, and then my toys. Whatever toys I got. Not a lot, but I got basically what I wanted or close to it. All right, so it was pretty funny. But food wise, they would put out the food for everybody. It was all basic, nothing extravagant, nothing crazy. But putting the tree up, I never forget one year. My dad brought this tree in and set it up in the stand. It was always a major production because he was almost a perfectionist when it came to doing things like that. Set the tree up, cut the string, and branches came down from the top of the tree, and in the center, there was a gap in the tree, probably 8 inches of nothing. That was it. I can remember thinking about it now. When I was a kid, I was a crybaby, for crying out loud. Thinking about it, that was it. He's not gonna. If he does come, he's gonna turn around and look, because that's an ugly tree. It's not not nice. The whole bed. Anyway, I went to bed, miserable, crying the whole bed. I think I cried myself to sleep. But the next day, when I come downstairs, I went, whoa! In the middle, the tree was all full, and it was decorated. Lights were on it, the whole bit. And then I asked my dad, "What happened? See what Santa can do?" Oh, wow! And that was like another click in my Rolodex here to remember. But what he actually did was he actually cut the branches off, the big branches off the bottom, to set it into the stand. And being a carpenter, he took a drill and drilled holes into the tree, and went around and stuck the branches into the tree. So, looking back, he probably I don't know what he paid for the tree, but he had to see it because the way they tied it up and everything. So probably got it cheaper than normal, and knew he had to do the work. So it was always something to do for Christmas to make it better, or just to get by. I thought they were maybe Rockefellers. You know what I'm saying? The way they did things, but deep down inside, they were broke as a joke. But they made things worth it. You know what I mean? They made, in my eyes, I had a good childhood. I mean, as far as, and I learned a lot. Okay, watched them cooking. Thanksgiving, Christmas was a big to do. My dad did all the cutting. He cut everything up, celery, the carrots, whatever for stuffings. Did all the dicing and stuff like that because he was a perfectionist, and they were all the same size. And watch my mom. My mom could make a gravy from a turkey or a roast pork or whatever. She can make a 55-gallon drum of gravy, and it tastes just phenomenal. Okay, so I learned a lot of tricks. That's how I got into cooking and stuff like that. Always watching how they were doing things. So yeah, it was pretty cool growing up. And then, like I said, when I got older, I started doing a lot of things for the Christmas, and then once they passed on, my siblings and everybody carried on some of the traditions and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a great childhood growing up, knowing that this guy was nice and fat. He wasn't no keto claus or on keto, thank God, because if he got skinny all of a sudden, everybody thought he would be sick or something. So it's just unbelievable. I'm going to take a little break. Second half of the podcast is brought to you by Keto Clean Eating. You can fall off the wagon a little bit because it's Christmas, but you know what? You got to jump right back on that wagon again. Get going. Tommy Spice, granulated salt, granulated garlic, granulated onion, and granulated black pepper. Make your food taste nice with Tommy Spice. Let's go back to the podcast. Well, there you have it. I mean, I do my own commercials. In the beginning, you'll see you've seen me cutting up a beef shoulder with sharp knives and stuff like that. I'm going to get into a little bit more or less like tutorial type of things of how I do things, how I personally do things, what I was taught throughout the years, and little shortcuts in the restaurant that you can bring home and use in your house to make life a little bit easier for you. this journey that I'm on is not hard. And I keep saying that to people. I'm not selling anything. I'm not giving anything away. I'm not trying to convince anybody. But in the same token, if you're hurting, you have a weight problem, or if you have health issues such as diabetes, metabolic syndrome, joint pain, uh, all of that, this keto right here, this works. I mean, there again, I'm not a doctor, because you get some of these other people that come in that don't like what I'm doing, or don't like this word keto, or carnivore, or low carb, or whatever, and they come in and they bash people, and that not this time of the year, it's not going to happen. This is time where everybody should be coming together. Christmas, no matter what you celebrate, but I celebrate Christmas. That's why I say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I don't go for all of that that other crap that they try to put in. It's Merry Christmas, and that's the way it is. I don't get political or anything like that, but that's how I was brought up. So I'm just trying to continue it that way. Now, one person I want to thank. There's so many people out there that I want to thank, but I don't want to get into if I forgot somebody or whatever else like that. But the one person I do want to thank is my wife, Marie. Marie has a channel, Meg's Mysteries. All right, I'm gonna leave. You'll see the logo flying around up here somewhere. Please go check her out. Okay, she's got great stories. Matter of fact, I'm getting her to the point where I think I'm gonna put her up to do a live, maybe once a month. She has some pretty good followers from across the pond and from other countries who like her kinds of stories and stuff like that. It's mysteries, Meg's Mysteries. Matter of fact, she killed me off in one of them. She said it wasn't me, but I put two and two together. I know where she's at. But she's my rock. She's the one who kept me going with this. I was a sick pup. I was in a lot of trouble. Uh, Heart problems. Not where a heart attack or anything else like that, but they were starting to send me down that road. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't think I was taking enough medications, according for a guy my age at that time. And once I started this, I started keto 2 or 3 times. The first time, like I said, I lost 40 some pounds, gained 62 back when I fell off the wagon. So this does work. Let's be clear. This does work. I'm not looking to become a millionaire on my channel or anything. It would be nice, but this thing works. And if I can help, some people who are a little skeptical of it or have problems getting around the hype, okay, getting around the cravings and get around, not saying to people, well, I'm doing a ketogenic lifestyle. That's almost like an embarrassment. People look at you like you're half crazy. But I got to tell you, it's catching on. I remember when I started, the one cardiologist I had told me, that's a fad. That's not going to last. You need carbohydrates. You need this. I'd like to see him today. I really would, because you know what? They have issues also. But the point is, getting back with Marie. Marie did keto with me. She went down that road with me, and she didn't have to, because Marie, there's nothing wrong with Marie. Marie doesn't take any pills or anything like that, but she did it, okay? And now I'm carb cycling, because you're going to see in January what I mean by this and why am I doing it. I don't want to get too crazy right now, because he won't come this year if I start talking crazy. So anyway, I got to thank her, because she pulls me back when because I got a short fuse, and she sort of calms me down with certain things, and I really do appreciate it. And the whole idea is, that's true love when somebody not sacrifices but goes behind somebody and really pushes me up front and makes sure you'll be all right, everything will be okay. My rants and my raves and stuff like that. So Marie, I love you, and we're going to continue to keep going. Don't forget Meg's Mysteries. You got to check her out. I want to get her going. I want to get her monetized and through the whole the whole bit, because you know what? In my eyes, she really does deserve it. She's got a good channel. So, all right, enough with that. So now, getting back to Christmas, future. What's in the future for us as far as home cooking, home foods, and with today, I mean Grubhub. All right, I mean that's calling out to different places to get your food. My wife brought some interesting items to me for me to talk about or ask questions about. You know what I mean? All this when you Instacart. Now I'm not knocking them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking them and stuff like that. But with all these food recalls and people getting sick, I am not too sure if I want somebody to be picking up my food, especially picking up my meats or vegetables and stuff like that. That I like to do myself. Now, if you're sick or like last year, I had to get Instacart a couple times to deliver stuff to my house because I couldn't walk because of my knee. Marie don't drive that much, and I wouldn't want her to go out if she's not comfortable driving. The traffic around here in Vegas is nuts. It's completely crazy. So, yeah, there was a good point about people picking up your own food, and is there a lot of crazies out there would do something to it? I don't know. I didn't hear too much of that, but she was right in a way about doing that. Funny story. Last year, I could get out to the kitchen. I had a walker, you could sit on or stand behind, whatever. And I just bored laying in bed. I was in bed for 5 months. Picture that, okay? I mean, that was completely nuts. Anyway, I called. I placed an order. All right, and I was gonna make some. Some taco meat and stuff like that, and with no shells, and just gonna make it like a taco bowl almost with cheese on it, the whole bit. But I had no jalapeno. So the store that I was getting it from, it was 99 cents a pound. So I said 1 pound. That's what I typed, 1 pound. Well, when we got when it was like an hour later to come knocking on the door, and we opened it up and brought it in. I give the guy a tip. Marie gave the guy a tip, and we left. So we're going through this stuff. All of a sudden, she starts laughing. I said, "What the hell's so funny? What are you laughing at?" She pulls out of the bag 1 jalapeno. That's what I put down. I thought 1 pound. That's what I thought I put down. But I mean, come on. So I think it was 3 or 4 cents for the 1 jalapeno. I said I have to cut that with a razor to put it into the food. But this is my point. How much time and energy is lost. You go to a supermarket now, especially out here, that's all you see is these carts with these workers going through it. And then you can see people who actually work for the delivery services coming in, and they're rushing around because time is money. If you don't do 3 or 4 orders within an hour or something, whatever it is, I don't know what the synopsis is of it, you're not making any money. So be careful with that, please. If you can, get to the store. It means a lot because, especially with all this, some of it's nonsensical, with these recalls and stuff. May cause, could have caused, could be. We'll see what happens after the holidays. How many other recalls they had, but I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Moving forward, I'm going to do a lot more cooking. I'm going to incorporate some other things. I'm going to try to get away from all this negative stuff. I'm going to do more positive, and I'm going to bring guests up. I'm going to do a couple lives. I'm going to bring some guests up who made it through with their lifestyle, and also a couple who didn't. So that's the other part of it, and we're going to take a deep dive into the actual keto foods that you can eat, and also the foods that you should absolutely stay away from, that they promote that say it's okay. So, all right, we're not going too deep in it. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Please take care of yourself. Enjoy the holiday. Enjoy Christmas. Enjoy your New Year's. Be careful. Be careful what you eat, and just love one another. And you know what? Your family. Take care of your family. They're first. They become first. But don't forget people who might need a little help or just a little chat. Be nice. Say hello. How you doing? Say Merry Christmas. Everybody. See you next year. Take care.